So there'll be a slight pause. Hello and welcome. This is Christina Hills with a website creation workshop, and welcome to this training on the simple truth about succeeding online and how to set yourself up for massive success. And all the things you're going to need to set yourself up for this massive success online. And that word massive is an interesting one because everybody needs to judge what massive means for you. But when I started out online, I was having a hard time putting all the pieces together. And so I've put together this training so you can see how all the pieces fit. Well, who am I? My name is Christina Hills, and I teach a program called the Website Creation Workshop. And before I was an online entrepreneur, I was in the Hollywood special effects industry. And Star Wars Episode 1 is the most famous film that I worked on. It was a lot of fun. I do have an IMDb page, and so you can see all the films I worked on if you look me up on IMDb. Star Wars, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and Jurassic Park 2 were the most famous ones. And here's just some clips from E.T., the re-release. They re-digitized it, and I worked on this film. And this is a shot from Jurassic Park 2, and I actually worked on this scene, and it was a lot of fun getting the dinosaur to fit in with the cars and the smoke and the light. And here's another shot from Star Wars Episode 1. So that was a lot of fun, but I I had a child and I decided to become an online entrepreneur. So since 2008, that's when I started the website creation workshop, I've taught more than 4,300 coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, healers, and business owners how to quickly and easily create a website in WordPress. And my passion and gift is teaching technology and making it easy so that I could live the entrepreneurial lifestyle. But early on, I hired an outsourcing agency. So this is kind of a little bit of my background story. Early on, I hired an outsourcing agency to build me some websites. And they built something I did not ask for. My webmaster built his own porn site inside my hosting account. I could not believe it. In fact, it took me many years to actually tell this story because I was so embarrassed about it. And I fired them. I hired them to build me a WordPress website, and then this is what they did. They also built a membership site. I mean, all on my time. I was paying for them. So no more depending upon these guys, right? I decided, okay, I'm going to learn this myself. So let's talk about you. So here's you or some variation of you, and you're smart, right? You're a smart person. You've been around the block a few times, but sometimes this internet stuff is not so easy. And so I'm going to give you a big picture overview of building an online business. And because I teach website building, my focus is on the website. And really think about it, your website is the heart of your marketing, right? So we have our websites, but we have these other social media platforms, but you don't own your social media presence. So just, I know either it's happened to you or somebody you know has been locked out of like Facebook or Instagram. If that's happened to you, you can just type that in the chat. So at any point, you could be kicked out of LinkedIn or kicked out of Instagram or Facebook or any of these others. So here's the online world with your website in the center, right? You interact with people on social media, with friends or drumming up business or getting clients, and you want them to go from the social media platforms to your site, right? So you would be sending people from social media. You might be going to networking events, right, where you talk to them and you let them know about your business and your website. You might be doing some version of email marketing to send people to your site. Once people come to your site, you will have your products or services, and then they'll go to a shopping cart. Um, Sometimes your website is to get people to come see you in person. So maybe you have a wellness center or a yoga studio. They would come to see you in person. Or maybe your website is there for people to call you. Now, in all of this activity that you do to drum up business, your website is in the center. And I know some people listening to me right now might not have a website yet, so that's okay. You're getting this sort of big picture of how it all fits together. So let's first talk about your website, right? Your website is your home on the internet, and these are just a few of the hosting companies that you might get to put your website on. And I talk more about this in my future webinar that is coming up. So your home has an address, right? Your address is your domain name. So maybe you have a domain name at GoDaddy or Namecheap or Network Solutions. There's lots of places to get a domain name. So your domain name is connected to your web hosting company. Now I hope I'm not getting too technical. Is this too technical? Just type yes or no in the chat. I want to make sure I'm not getting too technical. So you buy a domain name. Like I get an idea and I buy a domain name right away, even if I'm not ready to build the website, because I want to make sure I secure that domain name. So you buy your domain name, and I think the prices are a little bit more than I have listed here. So your domain name points to your web hosting company. And I'm just going to make this little comment now, and I can talk more about it when we get to the Q&A. I generally like to buy a domain name at one company and my hosting at another company. If you've already bought your domain name and hosting in one place, don't worry about it. But I like to buy them at two different companies. Okay, so your your domain name is connected to and points to your web hosting. So let me come to this slide, which is Website Creation Workshop. That is my domain name, and this is my website. This is my home page. And on my blog, I have a tab at the top that says blog. You can see this is my blog with my articles, right? So here's my home page, information about the Website Creation Workshop, and then up at the top on the blog, you see all my blog articles. And I email out every week a new blog post. So you should look for that if you haven't gotten that already. Then I have ChristinaHills.com. So this is another domain name, and it's a different website than the other one. All right, my WordPress website training will be starting soon. So you're going to want to make sure you watch your email when that happens. It's going to start in a couple of weeks. All right, so let's go back to the big picture of building your online business. Here is sort of our world view, high, 30,000 foot view of what the internet is like. Let's focus on social media. So let's start talking about social media. So social media usage is one of the most popular online activities. And I know you're probably shaking your head like, yeah, I do social media. In 2022, over 4.59 billion people were using social media worldwide. This number is projected to increase to almost 6 billion by 2027. So, social media, super popular. Here's some different social media platforms. Facebook is most popular, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And for marketers, uh, being on Facebook and Instagram are the two top platforms. So let me just talk about who hangs out where. So these are a lot of generalizations, but I was just trying to sort of distill it down. So Facebook, like everybody's on Facebook. Even if you don't like Facebook, you should at least have a presence so if somebody looks you up, they can find you. Um, Twitter, is now called X. I'm really mad they changed it. I thought Twitter was a much better name, but now it's called X. Customer service is handled a lot on Twitter and news media. I don't like Twitter anymore. I have a presence there because I've had it for years, but I'm not keen on what happens on Twitter. But there are certain industries that are only on Twitter or they all hang out on Twitter. So I have a certain community that if I want to get a hold of them, I got to go to Twitter. So it's just interesting that way. Instagram tends to be a little more personal, it's visually oriented. A lot of people are on Instagram, not just the younger generation, but my daughter, who's in her early 20s, she poo-poos Facebook. She's like, oh, that's for my parents. And she's on Instagram. So I have a presence there. And also LinkedIn. Like many businesses, like most business people, are on LinkedIn, but it's a lot for corporate networkers, recruiters, B2B is on LinkedIn, but everyone should be there. YouTube, entertainment industry, a lot of how-to businesses. People make money from YouTube views, but you have to have thousands of followers to make any real money. But I do like YouTube. TikTok, I'm not on TikTok. I've been reluctant to go onto TikTok, but lots of people are there. It has a taller format, tends to be a younger crowd. They're short videos, a lot of dancing and singing. I just decided to not bother with TikTok. But if you are on there and you love it, that's great. And then Pinterest, visually oriented people, it tends to skew female, but there are others on there. Crafters, photography, food, fashion, fitness are on Pinterest. All right, so here's where it gets fun. When you have a website, you can then share it to the different social media platforms. And this is a little bit of an older screenshot of when Facebook had a slightly different look. But I had written a 10 tips to be super productive working from home, and I shared it to Facebook. Then I shared it. Then I shared it to Instagram, and I shared it to LinkedIn. And then I shared it to Twitter, now called X. And so that is how you can drive more traffic to your website. And yes, this was a blog post. So let me just back up. Yeah. So it was a blog post that I shared, Roz. Yes. So I shared my blog post to the different social platforms. All right, so that was social media. I'm going to now talk about email marketing because networking, you're just going in person. It's not exactly an online activity, but I want to focus on the email marketing. Okay, so let's talk about email marketing. And here is the screenshot article about my post that I showed how I shared on social media. Now I'm going to talk about the email marketing part. So when I do a blog post, I send it out to my email list, driving people back to my website. So it is a nice way to be sending content out to your community that they would be interested in, and I'm not necessarily selling anything from it. So that is how I have my email marketing integrated from my blog posts. I email out to my list, and you've probably gotten an email something like this. All right, so that is the email marketing. It's a two-way thing, right? So you, from your website, people sign up and get on your email list, and then from your email list, they will click and come back to your website. So this is like a two-way direction. And you want to build an email list to create a loyal following. Now, if you're listening to me, you might not be ready today, but I want you to have this kind of big picture of I'm going to build my website and then I'm going to create an email list, right? So to have a successful email list, every business needs some kind of opt-in offer. And I'm going to be talking more about the opt-in offer. So in this example, I've got the opt-in offer on the right sidebar, and I also have a standalone page. So people can opt in either place, and then they get to a thank you download page, right? And I've got some diagrams to show about this. So on the thank you page, they can download the PDF and watch a video. Then an email gets sent to the visitor, right? So you opt in, here's the download, and I also send it out via email. So let me show you this little diagram of the opt-in process, right? Somebody comes to your website, they see what it is, maybe a report or a checklist, and they opt in, right? They enter their name and email, and then they get to an opt-in thank you page, right? So this will be a page on your website. Their information goes into your email marketing database system, and then the system looks up what emails should I send to them. So it might be one or a series of emails. So here's an example of my do-it-yourself website creation checklist. You click to download it. It pops up a little dialog box. This is how I'm doing it. And then they get to the thank you page. And on the thank you page, I have a video, and then I have the PDF download, and then I often have an invitation to another webinar. And I send a follow-up message. So a follow-up email goes out. Now, why do I also send the follow-up message to the same place they just were, like they just got to the thank you page? I send that because you never know, someone could opt in and then they got something boiling on the stove, or they accidentally clicked their browser away and they lost it. So I have it send the PDF in a download. All right, so we're talking about an opt-in goodie, right? Let me just back up. So my opt-in goodie was a PDF, and there's also a video, right? So I have a video and a PDF. You don't necessarily have to have both, but that is my opt-in goodie. So for your opt-in goodie, you need to think about two things: your content and the format, right? So what is your opt-in goodie content? It should be about your area of expertise. And so it's going to be different for everybody. Everybody listening to me has a different area of expertise. So if you have current clients, ask them, hey, what would be an interesting opt-in goodie? Like, what would be something useful? So maybe you want to have an opt-in, 10 things to ask before hiring a business coach, right? That's just an example. So you want to think about what's the content going to be, right? Then you want to think about the format, right? So what format are you going to deliver that in? So 10 things you should ask a business coach before you hire them. That could be a checklist. That could be a report and a guide. That could be a video or an audio or um, maybe your opt-in is something where you would get on the phone with them or a bunch of resources or tools. For everyone listening to me, the format that you're going to deliver your opt-in is going to be different. In order to email your list, you have to email your list, which is kind of a funny quote. But when I got started, I was only emailing maybe once a month to my tiny email list, and I started to email more and more. And so in order to email them and not have people upset and say you're emailing too much, you have to get them used to getting emails from you, and then you have to send good stuff. So I'm hoping that my emails I send to you are good. I do my best, or my whole team does our best to sort of segment the list, but you've got to email your list in order to email your list. So hopefully that makes sense. But you want to send good content that's useful to them. But when I got started, like I said, I think I only emailed my list once a month. All right, so I'm going to want you to watch for the PDF resources that are going to come in your email. So I have this report that goes along with this simple truth about succeeding online, and you will get that in your email. All right, so that was my talk about email marketing. Let's talk now about selling online, right? So we're going to talk about selling your products or your services online, your programs. All right, so let's talk about the single product sales process. So the single product sales process, that means you're only selling one thing. So somebody comes to your website and they see what they want to buy and they click buy now, and it takes them to a shopping cart, and then it takes them to a post-purchase thank you page. This is a pretty simple selling process. So here's an example. I have a program called the Graphics Creation Workshop, and there's a buy button at the bottom of the page to purchase it. And so you click, it takes you to a secure order form where people put in their credit card information. There's also an option for PayPal. So if the customer selects PayPal, they can go to a PayPal order form. And the problem with PayPal is sometimes they are wanting you to sign up for an account. So not everybody knows, yeah, you can pay with PayPal, but you don't have to sign up for an account. But that's the thing I'm not keen on with PayPal. But what I like about PayPal is everyone can do it. It's the fastest way to start selling online. Okay, so after they pay with either credit card or PayPal, they get to the thank you page, and in this instance, the thank you page is inside the course, right? So they've purchased and now they go right into the course. And I think you pick your username and password, and that gets you into the members area. I want to show you an example of one of my students. Her site is womenswisdom.net, and she sells membership on her site. So she sells memberships to her community, and it goes right to PayPal. So she doesn't have any fancy shopping cart system, really. It just goes right into PayPal. So everyone should have a PayPal account. And there are two types of PayPal accounts. There's personal accounts for people who shop online or send money to friends. With a personal account, you cannot accept credit cards. With a business account, it lets you accept credit cards. And it also lets you do business under a business name and make mass payments. Now, I don't have pricing here, so don't ask me about current pricing. I have a business account and I don't pay any monthly fee. So I'm pretty sure, or I hope so, you can still have a business account without a monthly fee. PayPal does have a version of PayPal with a monthly fee, but I don't have that. So you don't need to have a monthly fee with PayPal. There's also Stripe. Stripe.com is another simple payment processor. You pay as you go. They don't have setup or monthly fees. You only pay for when you use it. So, for example, if your program is let's say I'll just keep it simple. Let's say you've got something and it's $100, whatever it's for, then they will take a certain percentage of that $100. So it might be 3% or 4%, I'm not sure. So if you sell something for $100, Stripe is probably going to take $3 out of it. All right, so this is again my diagram of how a product or program is sold online. So they come to your website, they find the product for sale, they click to buy, they get to a shopping cart, they put in their credit card or PayPal info, and then they get to the post purchase, meaning after they've purchased, thank you page. The money then goes into your what's called a merchant account or your PayPal account, right? So it goes into like your bank, and then their information would go into your whatever shopping cart database or system you have, and then an email receipt and possible autoresponder follow-up can go to the customer. So if you only have it set up with PayPal, I think they just get a simple receipt, not necessarily an autoresponder, but there's many different ways you can put this together. I'm hoping that this diagram is helpful. So let me step you through sort of the different parts of this. Like here is the enrollment page, right? The page they see for the program they want to sign up for. At the bottom of the enrollment page, you might have one price or you might have payment plans. So they could click whichever one they want. Then it takes you to an online order form. Different systems will look slightly different. This is what mine looks like. And so you enter your credit card info, or I give people the option to pay with PayPal. Once they purchase, they get into a thank you page in my private members area, and this is what that looks like. And they pick a username and password. So that is the overview of selling online. And if you want me to go through this during the Q&A, I'm really happy to do that if people have specific questions about that. All right, so what product do you want to create? So you want to choose your product or program format. And just like I talked about an opt-in goodie, it's kind of similar with something you're going to sell. So are you going to make videos? Is that easy for you? PDFs? Maybe you're just going to have audios, checklists, diagrams, digital downloads. Maybe your program is a community forum, and there's many different ways to have a community forum, or live webinars. My program, the Website Creation Workshop, has live webinars, it has videos, it has PDFs, it has checklists, it has a lot of things. You don't have to have all of them. Some people are selling software and tools, and some people are selling in-person seminars where the whole deliverability is where people show up in person. All right, so just like an opt-in goodie, what need would a potential customer or client have? And what product could you create to solve that need? So an opt-in is to get people to learn more about you and your programs and your services and your expertise. But your thing that you're going to sell, right? You want to know what need would a potential client customer have. Or you can also sell other people's products, right? So don't sell your own product, sell other people's. So some people do that, and their whole business is affiliate marketing. So here's an example. I do promote web hosting because it's a natural fit. So you can sell affiliate products on your website with a special link to that. So one that's very popular is the Amazon Associates program. So you can set up a Amazon store on a website and you could have your books or you could have other people's books for sale. Now, Amazon doesn't give you a very big cut, so unless you have massive traffic, you're probably not going to make a ton of money online, but why not? So this concept of affiliate marketing is you're selling other people's programs. All right, so what do you need to sell directly online? So if you're listening to me and you're like, I want to sell my own stuff online. So you're going to need a website. You're going to need some kind of product or program. You're going to need some kind of payment processor, whether it's a merchant account, PayPal, or Stripe, one of those. You'll need some kind of shopping cart system that can take the money. Now with some of these payment processors, you can just like go directly with PayPal, like PayPal.me makes it really easy. You'll need or you'll want an email system so that you can follow up with people. If you're selling a physical product, then you'll need a fulfillment house. Now, not everybody does that, but if you're going to ship something, you're going to want to have a fulfillment house. In the early days, my husband and I used to sit in the living room with our young daughter and we would pack up our physical products that we were shipping out, but then we got a fulfillment house and they did the packing and shipping for us. If you are selling something digital, you're going to need a delivery method to deliver your digital product. So, like I sell online courses, so I have an online course members area that's how I deliver it. So there's many different ways to deliver a digital product. So this is my big diagram now, and as you can see, I love to teach with pictures. So again, they find the product on the site. So here's my website. They find the product or my program in this instance. They get to my shopping cart order form. After they enter their credit card info, they get to the post-purchase thank you page, which is my members area. And we do for some people who want to have that, we have a little upsell. You can get a binder. So if you want to put all your materials in a binder, we have that. The money goes into the merchant account, either PayPal or that people pay with a credit card. The information goes into my shopping cart database, and then people get an email receipt plus an autoresponder series goes out. So once you have an email list and a product or program, you can create a simple marketing funnel, really simple. So a simple marketing funnel is you've built an email list and you're emailing people regularly, right, following up with them, and then you decide to do a launch. So you'll email them and send them to your program enrollment page, and if it's a fit for them, they'll buy, and then they'll get into your membership site or your online course. So that was the selling online. Let's talk about phone calls, right? So let's talk about phone consultations. So phone, webinar, or Zoom consultations, this is a great way to get started online, is to sell your expertise in a one-on-one consultation. You can either do Zoom. Zoom got super popular during the pandemic, and now most people know how to use Zoom. And there's different price points for Zoom. There's a free version or a paid version. You have to decide what's right for you. Then the other system that we use a lot is GoToWebinar and GoToMeeting. It's a little bit older than Zoom. Zoom is newer. And GoToWebinar started out more for corporate people, but I've been using it for, I don't know, at least 16 years, way before Zoom came about. So we're just all tuned in to GoToWebinar. Some people like Zoom better, some people like GoToWebinar. I'm going to pause and type in the chat. Do you have an opinion? Right now we're on GoToWebinar. GoToWebinar and GoToMeeting are similar. Do you have an opinion? I'm just curious if you like Zoom better than GoToWebinar. So I'm just curious. Some people don't have an opinion. Some people like Zoom. Some people like GoToWebinar. Yeah, the thing about Zoom, I like GoToWebinar, but the thing, and thanks, Christine, GoToWebinar works fine. Some people are not sure. Zoom, Zoom has its own thing. Like people get really distracted in the chat on Zoom and then they're not listening to your training. They're off like networking on the side. Um, so, um, interacting with people is good on Zoom. So, although you can do Zoom where there's no interaction, where it's just a platform. Yeah, GoToWebinar does require downloading. Okay, I think I want to keep going. Thank you for my little interactive poll. People are still typing in. Um, okay, so that is my online business kind of landscape. And one of the things I like about an online business is it allows you to make money while you're playing, right? So my husband and I, and this is a picture of my daughter when she was younger, we loved going to Disneyland, and I just loved being able to spend time with my daughter because I had a flexible schedule. With a flexible schedule, you can donate your money or time to nonprofits. So she was part of this theater organization that was a nonprofit, and I was able to donate both my time and my money to her, and she's really interested in acting. This is her on the side. So that's what I love about the flexibility. You get to spend time on other creative projects. So we did this Little Red Riding Hood little video skit to advertise the website creation workshop. That's my husband dressed up as the wolf and my daughter, and then a friend helping out. And here they are kind of hamming it up. So a few years earlier, my daughter and I did Alice in WordPress Land, and here she was also as the queen, and I'm the rabbit, and there's my husband as the Mad Hatter. And then here's another picture of us as Little Red Riding Hood, and it was a lot of fun. So you're going to want to watch for the PDF resources guide that's going to come in your email. This has been the overview of the simple truth about succeeding online. Again, my name is Christina Hills, and I want to tell you about my next training event. So my next training event is coming up in 2 weeks, and that will be Friday, June 6th. And that training is going to be specifically about the essential pages of a successful website. So maybe Joanna, you can put that in the chat, websitecreationclass.com/essential pages webinar. And I do want to mention, wait a minute, here we go. I am running a summer class. So I wasn't sure if I was going to run a summer class, and the spring class was so popular that we are going to be doing a summer class. So websitecreationclass.com is where you can get on the notification list. And I call that my summer camp. So it's a summer camp, but we don't meet in person. We meet all online. And if you're not in the website creation workshop and you want to get your site built this summer, that will be a good place to go. So the PDF resources, Joanne, I think we're sending that out in an email. Is that correct?
Yes.
So yes, okay. And let's get the question box up. And while we get the question box up, Joanna, I think I want to take just a couple of more polls.
Okay.
And so this is the do you have a website? Do you have a website poll? Now, I expect a lot of people here don't have a website, and that's totally fine. I know some people here, like Tony, is building his website, which looks fantastic. And he's about to go live. And so, yeah, if you're here and you don't have a website, you're totally fine because I specialize in teaching people who don't have a website or have a website and they don't know how to use it that well. And you'll want to, Joanna, did you put it in the chat, the link to the Essential Pages webinar?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great, 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 great. And all right, I think I'll keep that poll up for just a little bit because I see people are still voting. Do you have a simple question I can answer while that poll is up?
Let's see. Simple question. So Anita was wondering, would Facebook and LinkedIn be the best social media platforms to use for my business, which is VIP retreats in Italy for conscious business leaders?
I think Facebook and LinkedIn would be a good place. Um, here, I'm also on Instagram because it feels like Instagram doesn't take that much work. You're mostly putting up pictures. There's less interaction than on Facebook. But if you want to just focus on two places, I think Facebook would be, and Facebook and LinkedIn are really top, they've been around forever, social media platforms. All right, I think I want to close this poll, Joanna, and share the results. So some of you, a third, have a site and it's in WordPress. 17% have one but not in WordPress. 3% are not sure, and then 45% don't have a site yet. So that is totally fine. All right, now if you're on the web, here's how you ask a question. If you're on the browser, here's how you ask a question. So I think I'll keep this slide up. This one, yes. Okay, so that people can see when the essential pages of a successful website is. You can go ahead and sign up for that now. All right, Joanna, let's go into other questions. And if anybody wants me to go back through any of the slides, I can do that too.
Okay. Gloria had mentioned I have a website, but I haven't launched it yet. It needs work, and I'm not sure how to do things in WordPress. Do you have any
So my
help for her?
question for Gloria is, did somebody set that up for you? Like, you don't know how to do things in WordPress. I don't know who built it. Did somebody else build it for you? What is your relationship with them? And I go more into depth about WordPress. Today's training was more kind of a big picture overview of how all the pieces fit together.
Okay. Okay, so she said free website, guys. I don't know if that's the name of them, the company or something.
Yeah,
So
I've
it
never
sounds like
heard of
someone
them.
else set it up
Yeah,
for her.
yeah. It's good to know how to do this yourself. This is why I've been teaching building websites in WordPress for 17 years, is because if you're in control and somebody disappears or they're going to charge you too much, you know how to do things yourself. And In 2 weeks is the Essential Pages webinar training. And then I think the following week, I'm going to do another live free training masterclass that goes deeper into WordPress.
Okay, so Gloria, I hope you'll be able to come to one of those. I think it'll really be helpful for you. Okay, so Smara was asking, after which page is the client receiving the confirmation and login information to the product service they bought? Is that after payment confirmation or the thank you page? Where does
Okay,
that
let
fit in?
me close your eyes so you don't get dizzy. Okay, so if you can see my slide. So different people do it slightly differently. So if you come to the website, you see the product for sale or the program. They click the buy now. They get to an order form, some kind of shopping cart order form. Then the next page can be just a thank you page, and then you email them their username or password. What I do is on the thank you page, I let people pick their own username and password. And then once they do that, they get into the members area. So you can either, after they purchase, go to, great, you ordered, here, pick your username and password, or you can have it go to a page that says, hey, we're glad you ordered. Check your email. We'll send you a username and password. So it really kind of depends.
Okay.
I
And
have two
Tony just said,
monitors. That's why you'll see me like looking to the side.
sounds good. Tony said for Gloria, website creation class is what she needs. So thanks, Tony. Okay, while you're on this slide, we had a couple people, Dorinda and Deborah, that were asking, well, about landing pages. So what about them? What is a landing page? How is it incorporated into the website?
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me bring up this. So the next live training is the Essential Pages of a Successful Website training. So this is a landing page, and there's nothing to do on this page except to click, and you can click in the box here, the button here, or you can click on the button here, and you enter your name and your email, and then phone numbers for text reminders. So did I answer the question, Joanna? Why don't you read it again?
Yeah, what is a landing page? How is it incorporated into a website?
So there's different ways that you can incorporate it. So here's my main website, and I have a free button up here for my free training, and that takes you to my landing page to sign up for today's webinar. So how is it incorporated into a website? Well, let me back up. You could have it on the sidebar, like I have my productivity tips webinar on my sidebar. So you could have it on your sidebar, or you could have it in a top menu, or on social media, you could tell people, hey, go here, and just send people straight to a landing page. The other landing page I have is my PDF. So I have a PDF that goes along with my free masterclass. So there's different ways you can use landing pages. Oh, read what Stephanie Rees said for Gloria.
Stephanie said, aw, I agree. Gloria should think about taking the website creation course. There's nothing better than managing your own site.
Yeah. So, and even if you have team members, they get sick, they go on vacation, even if you have a great relationship with your web person. I've got a friend who decided to have a web person build their site, and now they've disappeared. I don't think I told you the story, Joanna. And I can't get the person to answer my emails to
Oh
say, hey,
no.
what's going on? So anyhow.
Yeah, I've heard that story before too, sadly.
Yeah.
Happened to a friend of mine. And their site was like super out of date and they couldn't get a hold of the person that built it. And yeah.
Yep, that's why I've been running this program for 17 years because it just keeps happening. All
Okay,
right, I
so
know
our
we have
next
more
question,
questions.
yes, our next question is from Pam. Pam is wondering, how do you set up a members area only in WordPress?
So Pam, that is an in-depth question that requires kind of more advanced skill. So the way we do it is we have a WordPress site, which is our members area, which is different from my free main website. So websitecreationworkshop.com, this is my public site, my authority site. Some people use that term. And this is just free and every page is open to the public. But then when someone purchases the website creation workshop, and let me show you my coming soon page for that, for the summer camp that's coming soon. So this is just to get on the notification list. And let me come here to, hold on. And let me know, anybody, if I'm going too fast. I start to get really excited and then I go too fast. So website creation camp is what I run in the summer. It's a shorter version of the website creation workshop, and we don't yet have the enrollment page open, but oh, now I forgot her question. Did I answer her question?
Pam was about setting up a members area only in
Oh, setting up the
WordPress.
members area. Yeah. So the way I do it is I do it with a plugin, Pam. So
Okay.
there's a plugin you can add, and I recommend having it as a separate website.
So learning WordPress is the first step.
Learning WordPress is the first step. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, Krista says, I have a starting website, but I need help figuring out what to put on it. Help organizing what I'm doing. Plus, it's cumbersome to manage as it's only on GoDaddy.
A starting website. I don't know what that means, Krista, by a starting website.
Would the training in 2 weeks be good as far as helping with what I'm
Yeah.
doing and what to put on it?
Yes.
Oh, she said there's not much on it, so I guess she's just starting.
So that
Okay.
might be a my favorite plugins. She might have like a coming soon, like my favorite plugins. Here, this is, sorry, we're doing some work on the site.
Oh,
So she
your
might have
screen is
oh, you can't
paused.
see my screen. Okay.
Yes.
So myfavoriteplugins.com, this is an under construction, but maybe it has something like that. Yeah. So Krista, you might want to consider the website creation camp this summer, but definitely come to the essential, uh, let's put this essential pages webinar. I'll put this,
Okay, she said sounds good.
yeah, I'll send this to everybody.
Okay, let me. Okay, so our next question. Theon was asking, what are other ways to deliver a digital product? I know you listed several. Um, what are some other ways?
Okay, let me find that slide. So here's my simple. So on the post purchase page, you can deliver the digital product, or you can tell them to check their email and you can send it to them from your email system. So I create members areas. That's just kind of what I do. But if you have a simple product, you could have it on the post-purchase thank you page. And there's a lot of different plugins you can use with WordPress. to manage digital products, but yeah, I don't know enough about your system or your setup to deliver a digital product.
Okay,
So it's hard to answer that without knowing more.
got it. Okay. We have 4 questions left. I know we are at top of the hour.
Okay.
Are you game to wrap up the last 4 questions that we have?
Yeah, let's wrap up the last 4 questions, and then I want to encourage you to sign up for the next one that I'm doing, and we will send a replay out to anybody who has signed up, so you'll definitely want to sign up. And we put that in the chat. Oh, looks like you put that in again. And I'll also send that out on email, but there's nothing like signing up now while you're thinking of it.
Okay, and Sophia Faith says, thank you. I'm wanting to create my website, so I will be interested in the 6th of June. So sounds good. Okay. Um, Smara says, what is the best practice for promoting affiliates? Adding only a link to an existing page or creating a separate page only for the affiliates?
Okay, so Smara, you must have a program and you want to get affiliates to help you. And if anybody doesn't know what an affiliate is another business owner who's going to promote your program and then get a commission when a sale is made. And I have a lot of my students, and it's always such a compliment when my student wants to be an affiliate because it means they love the program. And then if they make the recommendation, then I'll pay them a commission. So, so the question is adding only a link to an existing page or creating a separate page only for affiliates. Not I think I understand your question, Smara, but I typically have a separate page just for affiliates. So I talk to my affiliates on a whole separate page that the public can't find. So that's what I recommend that you do.
Right. And Sonia was asking how she can sign up for the class to build my website.
For the course or for the webinar that we're doing in 2 weeks, the free training? So let me go to, if you get on my website creation class notification list, then we'll send you an early bird announcement. So it's going to open June 11th. So mark your calendar, June 11th, which is in 18 days. That's when enrollment will open.
Okay. And then Dorinda says, so how do I take over the website from the person who built it? Does he need to transfer the info to me?
All right, so if you had somebody build a site for you, the first thing you want to do is make sure you get all the passwords. So say to your person, I want all the passwords. You want a password to your web hosting account. You want a password to log in if it's WordPress to your WordPress login. So he doesn't, and it depends how he set it up. So some web developers set it up on their own hosting servers, hosting account, and I'm going to go more into that on my webinar. I think it's the week of, yes, June 11th. I'm going to do a webinar specifically on WordPress. But I don't think you don't need to necessarily transfer something. The first step is to get the logins and to find out where everything is. And so know your usernames and passwords. Oh, someone tried signing up, but it didn't work. All
Oh,
right, let's try that. Okay, so I'm going to click here and I'm going to type Christina and Christina at websitecreationworkshop.com and phone number 619-785. Is it 0363? No. What is the, what is,
3175.
what?
3175.
3175. Okay. And yes, send me the info by email. And this is optional. Just text reminders are kind of nice. And you click register here, and then you get congratulations, you're registered. And then you can add it to whatever digital calendar you use. And then here is, the information. So the information is going to come in your email. And let's do that here. And I'll type Christina at websitecreationworkshop.com. Yes, send me the info. So the other one was to get the info for the webinar, the other training I'm doing in 2 weeks. And then this one is just to get on the notification list. And when you sign up for the notification list, and I was already subscribed, when you sign up for the notification list, then we don't email you partner information. So I send a lot of emails for my own stuff and my partner stuff, but anybody who signs up for early notification won't get any of those partner emails. Can you please text this one again? Why don't you, Sonia, email support at, so we can get you, or email me, Christina at websitecreationworkshop.com, and then I can get you on that notification list.
Okay.
If for some
And
reason,
also, Sonia, if you want to just type in and let me know if you want on both of them or just on the webinar, Christina, I can snag her email address and
okay,
do that as well.
okay, that sounds good.
But just let me know. Okay, so we got like 2 other quick questions. So
Okay,
Smara was asking, what autoresponder is best to start with? Have been advised not to start with a free autoresponder. And I think,
okay.
does our PDF have, that might
I
be a
think our
different
PDF
PDF.
does have that. I
It
can
might
put the,
be a different one, not sure.
yeah, or we might recommend a few. I like
Yes.
Aweber the best. They have a free version. Incognito, because I don't want to get logged into my account. So I like
Okay.
Aweber. They have a free version. I've been using it for years, and you can easily grow with Aweber. But I think that is I think we have that listed in our resources. Let me pull
Yes.
that up.
And
Yeah, and we're going to
Smara,
send that
like
out in email.
she was advised not to start with a free one. Is it different in this case because Aweber is like has a paid version and you can just
Yeah,
seamlessly upgrade?
exactly.
Yeah.
They have a
Okay.
paid version.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question is, how is the domain name connected to the hosting?
How's the domain name? I cover that in the June 11th call, but let me bring up that slide. So how is the domain name connected to the hosting? And I know this is like a little bit of an outdated slide. So you buy your domain name. I recommend you get it at a separate company than your hosting. And these are just a few of them. There's lots of other hosting companies. You tell your domain registrar, point it to my hosting account. So it's called like the DNS or the name server. So you just say, hey, I'm going to be at Green Geeks or SiteGround or maybe Bluehost. So inside your domain registrar account, you point that to your hosting account. So yeah, and if you're working with a web person, make sure you have the login for your domain registrar and a login to your hosting company. And I go more into this on the webinar on June 11th. June 6th is more about your web pages. So I cover all of this.
Okay, sounds good. I think we are good to wrap up if you had any final things.
Let's see. No, this is the simple truth, right? We're going to swap this out to the Essential Pages webinar. So, yeah, we went over a little bit, but that's okay. It's a Friday. I want to thank everybody for coming today, and I really love teaching, and I love teaching with pictures, and I love that my existing students, some of them came here today, and just watch your email for the PDF that goes along with today's training, and I think that's it. Oh, wait, do
Sounds
I have
good.
another poll I want to take? Um, we're kind of at the end of the webinar, so maybe
Yeah.
I won't take another poll, Rats. I should have
Okay.
probably done that earlier, but it's okay. Come to the next one. I'll take more polls then. All right, I
Samara
think
said
we're good.
she really liked the visuals and infographic.
Yeah, I love doing that. All right. Thank you, Joanna, for helping me out. Thank you, everybody on my team, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.